श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकर सुधारी। बरनउँ रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फलचारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश बेकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। राम दूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन बिराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र औ ध्वजा बिराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवनी लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीनी बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि संभाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कौबिद कहि सके कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपथ दीन्हा। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका पहली मुख बाहि जलदि लागी गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपद तेज सवारो आपे तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु सत्य के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हरे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हरे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई, और देवता चित्त न धरहि, हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूटहि बंदी महा सुख होय। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होए सिद्ध साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय बडेरा। पवन तरे संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण। We have completed, or we have been trying to analyze, and we have done till verse number 36. Right? Last week we worked on verse number 36. We talked about different kinds of atatais, right? Different kind of villains. And these villains not only exist outside, but they exist inside us also. So all these 6 we have to watch out for and gradually distance ourselves from these. And we also understood that what happens is the resistance that we see when we are dealing with our inner desires and inner vices, or all our inner habits, there is a justification for that habit that we do, right? We normally defend what our habits are. We are going to understand it further now. So we talked about false rationalization of the devotee's sense enslaved reasons, right? When we falsely rationalize and reason to protect our sensual desires. Happens all the time. So now we are going on with verse number 37. Today we'll do 3 verses. We'll start working on 3 verses simultaneously because they are all interlinked, and we might take 2 sessions depending on how it goes. Let's see. So verse number 37. Tasmanarha vayam hattu dhartarashtrad swabadhavad swajanam hi katham hatva sukhinah syam madhava. Sorry, my throat. Tasmanarha vayam hantum dhartarashtran swabadhavan swajanam hi katham hatva sukhinah syam madhava. Yadhyapyetena pashyanti लोभोपहत चेतसः कुलक्षये कृतं दोषं मित्रद्रोहे च पातकं कथं न गेयमस्माभिः पापदस्मानवर्तितुं कुलक्षये कृतं दोषं प्रपश्यद्भिर्जनार्दन. So the gist is, in the verse number 37, he is actually saying that because these are our swajan, right? These are our relatives. They are not worth killing. It does not justify killing our relatives, our friends, and our badhavs. And plus, how will we derive any happiness? By destroying our relations, our friends. There is no scope of happiness by killing the people we love. Right? So that is what Arjun is saying. And he has been saying the same thing for how many verses now? He started justifying all this in verse number 28, right? And till verse number 37, he is saying that because they are our relations, it is not right, O Madhav, O Krishna, to destroy them, right? And later on he says, they might be blinded by greed, right? Because even though they are lobhi, they are greedy, they want the kingdom, they want our riches, they want our wealth, right? And this lobe or greed has covered their eyes. They can't see. Now he's taking it a step further. That by this war, there will be a destruction. Kul ka shay ho jayega. That means the kul will be destroyed. Kul ka shay. Kul ka destruction. The entire clan will be wiped out. And not only this, and it is a mitra droha. We are going against our clan. The entire kul is going to get wiped out. Plus, it's a mitra droha. How can we go against our mitra? So I can see it, but they have been blinded by lobe. Lobe is greed, and that is blinding their vision. Hence, they cannot see anything. Yet, we should have pity on them because they can't see the right from the wrong. They can't see adharma and the difference between adharma and dharma. We should actually have pity on them. And what does he say again? Katham nayeyam asmabihi papadasma navartito kulakshaya kritam dosham prapashyad bhir janardana. And he's saying, but I can. When I can see दोषों को ठीक ठीक जानने वाले हम लोग, right? He's saying we are the people. In the first verse he's saying because of greed they cannot see the destruction of the kul. Kul का क्षय हो जाएगा, मित्रों से द्रोह हो जाएगा, and yet they are going on because they are blinded, right? Ignorance is bliss, as we say. They can't see, hence they are going ahead with it. But we can. हमें तो दिख रहा है ना. We know the repercussions of this war. We know it is like you can see, the far-sightedness as to what is going to happen as a result of this war. When the clans are going to be destroyed, when so much of suffering is going to follow, because so many people in the battlefield won't remain anymore. And we know the repercussions. Yet if we go on Sri Krishna, Sri Madhav, is it right? So it is said, right, agar galati se galati ho jati hai, to it is okay. But knowingly if you commit a sin, knowing the repercussions if you go on to do something wrong, it is a greater sin. So for once we can forgive them because they are blinded by greed. But we cannot let ourselves take this step further. Just imagine. Now he's taken the justification, not only the swajan. Now he's saying, Krishna, it is not that I am attached to them. That is why I'm saying so and so things. I am looking at the repercussions of the war. I can see a future calamity. Hence, I do not want to fight. Beautiful, isn't it? Don't we all do that? We, in all these 3 verses, we can see that he is saying that they are doing wrong. The war is wrong. Yet, they have so and so flaws in them. Hence, their vision is blinded. So, over here, he is saying that unke aankhon pe greed ki patti bani hui hai. And greed is dangerous, isn't it? Greed is really, really very dangerous. Because once you have a desire to have more, There is no stopping you. And whatever comes your way in your accomplishments, comes in the way of your accomplishments, would you stop and give it a thought? That is why we always say, don't be passionate. It is good to have a goal. It is good to work towards a goal. But a passionate person becomes blind. Because then the vivek is lost. What is vivek? The ability to discriminate between right and wrong. So over here, he's saying, unki to bati bari gayi hai. They have lost their vivek. We have our vivek. Then why should we actually do what is right and guide them? They are not working with vivek. So what happens to our vivek? Vivek, our power of discrimination, gets lost because of the vices. They are Kam, Krodh, Moh, Lobh, Ahankar, Madh, Matsarya. These are and many more. These are the vices. And because of that, our discriminative power, right, where we can see clearly, we can analyze, we can actually decide whether we should actually go ahead with this action or not. For instance, suppose you suddenly get angry, right? And there is a row of anger, and you start shouting at whoever is in front of you, right? And all negative things come out of our mouth. And when the anger subsides, our vivek comes to light again. We realize that we have said so much which was not needed at all, which probably was not there in our hearts. It might have been there somewhere in our subconscious mind, because mind you, nothing comes out of your mouth by mistake. Whatever comes out of your mouth is there somewhere in your being. फिर भी मान लो कि immediately you were not running through those feelings. You had those feelings of it all, but you were not like it. Then you'll say, oh my God, गुस्से में, because of anger, no, मैंने क्या क्या नहीं बोल दिया, right? I was blinded by anger. Many a big crimes happened because of this. That fit of anger. And then when you realize that a hideous crime has been done. A fit of lust, calm. A fit of greed. And in that moment of greed, lust and anger, a person gets so blinded that he does what he would have ideally not done with his rational mind. So that rational mind, the vivek in him, gets covered. Now, vivek can never go away. We all have this discriminative power in us. We all have vivek. The only issue is, many a times, we let it lie covered in a corner. Why? Because it is uncomforting. It takes you off your comfort zone. Because if you start thinking rationally about each and everything you do, I assure you, half of the things would not be done. Yes, use your discriminative power, your rational thinking, your vivek when you go out shopping. Trust me, half of you would come home empty-handed. Because your vivek, your discriminative power, right, will tell you that there is enough. Nothing more needs to be got. Only the essentials are needed. Why are we going on a shopping spree? Right? Or why this anger outburst and these outburst of anger? If we are able to keep a distance of 10 seconds between opening our mind and anger, those negative words will never come out. Why? Because we have given our vivek time to talk to us and talk us out of it. Telling us कि कोई फायदा नहीं है. Nothing is solved by anger. Nothing will happen. Nothing. You have done so much. Just by 5 minutes of harsh words, all your efforts will be wiped out. Keep quiet. That's why we say, right? Whenever you're getting angry, just walk out of the room. Go away. Drink a glass of water. Count till 10. Don't come back to the same spot, because that same spot is already energized with anger. Many a times you must have realized when a person is shouting, he will come back again and again and again and again to the same spot and shout, because that spot has become energized by anger, and it is pulling that person again and again. And for that person who is able to give 10 seconds, a drink of water, 3 deep breaths before opening the mouth, will those harsh words ever come out? No. That is all that is there. And that is what Arjun is saying. What Arjun over here is saying is not wrong. He is saying that they are blinded by lobh. Because of lobh, they want everything for us. It's a vritti. Lobh, greed is a tendency. Right? Just like being a miser is a tendency, being extremely greedy is also a tendency. And somehow, these tendencies are very active in us. And when we start to justify, people actually become very defensive. We become defensive when our habits are being touched upon. Now over here he's saying, they are blinded because of lobh, right? They want the kingdom. They want the riches. They wanted everything. They are blinded by all the vices. Their vivek is not talking. But what Arjun, very good, nothing wrong in what he's saying. But what Arjun is forgetting is that just by looking at other people's vices, right, he has forgotten that he himself is blinded by something. And what is it? It is attachment, moha, delusion. He's totally deluded. Past 10 verses we have realized that all he can say is my family, my friends, my relatives. He's blinded. He's totally blinded by what? Attachment. His vivek is also not working. So that is why I say don't judge. The minute you realize that you are also blinded by so many vices, you would stop spending time analyzing and judging other people. So Arjun over here is rightly saying that they are blinded by lobh. There is nothing wrong in this statement, but he forgets while making the statement that he himself is blinded by what? Attachment. He has been saying that I don't want the Trilok Karaj, I don't want Hastinapur, I don't want any riches, I don't even want any land. I will go away back to the jungle and live. So he's saying I don't have any kamna, I don't have any ego. What is it? I don't have any jealousy. I don't have any anger towards them anymore. I'm not angry with them. I pity them. Very good. But you have eliminated. Very good. These are the negative vices which are evident, isn't it? We will say jealousy is bad. Anger is bad. We will say that greed is bad. Right? Violence is bad. Because from the very beginning, our mind has been conditioned to see these as negative. However, our mind has not been conditioned to see attachment as negative. Our mind has not been conditioned to see delusion as negative. So over here, he has listed a number of vices. He is saying they are blinded, whereas he does not know that he is also blinded. He is also not thinking with discrimination or vivek. What is blinding him is delusion, attachment, and matsarya bhav, mamta. Mere log, mere pitabah, mere mama, mere swasur, mere sab. Me, my blood, my friends. And very clearly Arjun is saying, had they not been related to me, it would have been a different matter. Right? In verse number 37, he's saying, these people are related to me. They are my swajan. They are my kutumbi. They are my clan. Okay? Hence I can't destroy them. Had they been somebody I did not know, it would have been a different matter. So, is his thinking rational? When superficially looked at, yes. But when we go into the depth of it, no. What is talking? Moha, delusion, matsarya, mamata, attachment. Attachment is not love. And attachment, if you have love, these kinds of arguments would not come out. He's talking about attachments. He's talking through attachments. And his reasoning is flawed. Why? Because what was the basis of the war? The basis of the war was dharma yudh. It is a yudh between adharma and dharma. The battle is between adharma and dharma. It is not a battle between those people and these people. It is not a battle between my kutumbis or not my kutumbis or my clan. It is just adharma and dharma. Now, when this topic comes in place, what stance should one take? When, even if your blood relation, maybe your brother or your sister, has committed a crime, let's bring it home to understand what Arjun is doing. You say that yes, a hideous crime has been committed by my brother, okay, and I have the capacity to punish him, right? Because he will harm the other people. He's totally out of control. Yet I am not going to do anything because he's my brother. He's my kutumbi. It will destroy my family. My parents will be so upset. Right? The peace in my family is going to go away. If he would have been somebody else, it would have been a different story. But this is my brother you're talking about. He could be dangerous. He could keep on committing the same crimes again and again. Yet, how can I do anything to my brother? Is that not wrong? When you're talking about dharma, when you're talking about right from wrong, it should not matter who is standing there. Justice has to be served. Be it your brother, your sister, your mother. When somebody is wrong, they are wrong. But he is getting pulled. And what will happen in the end? If he lets Duryodhan and his family and all of them rule, adharma will rule. So it is not about Arjun's big-heartedness. He is becoming a coward. He is not thinking with Vivek Buddhi. Because he is saying, these are my family, let them be, even if it is for the greater bad. He is not thinking about the greater good. So, okay, whose vision is clouded? Both the parties. Their vision is clouded by anger. Their vision is clouded by greed. Their vision is clouded by jealousy. Their vision is clouded by calm. But Arjun's vision is also clouded, and his vision is clouded by moha, attachment, delusion. And he is also not thinking with Vivek. And most of us don't think about Arjun at all. Don't think about a big folly that we are talking about. Even when we do small things, when we are analyzing people, that is what we do. Rather than working on ourselves and our clouded vision, we keep judging people and working on them. Forgiving them, letting them be. उसने इतना इतना कुछ मेरे साथ कर लिया, मैंने छोड़ दिया. अरे भाई, उसने जो करा वो छोड़ो ना. आप भी रैशनली सोच रहे हो या नहीं सोच रहे हो, वो आपको क्या पता? Are you thinking rationally? Or you also have a vested disinterest towards that person, vested anger towards that person, vested hurt towards that person, and your hurt is talking and judging? Or are you totally unattached and indifferent from a situation? Totally indifferent, totally unattached, totally unaffected. Nahi hota mostly. That is why we are saying stop judging. If somebody else is blinded by a conditioned vice, the vices which we consider as vices, we could be blinded by the vices which are not considered as vices, which are considered good. What is it? Why is it considered good? Because from the very beginning we have been said, this is your brother, you have to take care of him. This is your family, it is your first responsibility. This is, attachment has been said to be accepted, and it is a very good quality. Attachment towards your children is considered ultimate. But that is again wrong. So we have to be very, very careful. We have to sit down and actually try and uncondition our mind first. A conditioned mind will always be biased. Why? And again, let's take it a step further. The bias will be based on our habits. We will justify our habits most of the time because we think that our habits are good, and we'll condemn other people's habits because we think their habits are bad. सोच के देखिए, there is no point denying this. We all go through it every day, many times. None of us, most of the time, work through our vivek. We are just puppets in the hands of our habits. And that is how we act in this world. Just like Arjun. Condemning people when they don't resonate with us, and appreciating people who resonate with us. Accepting those who have habits similar to us, rejecting ruthlessly those whose habits do not resonate with us. सीधी सी बात है. And हमारे परिवार वालों को 1000 खून माफ है. We will not see the flaws of our children, but the same thing done by somebody else's child is a criminal affair, isn't it? And then the words will come, उसकी माँ ने उसको नहीं सिखाया, क्या upbringing है. And if it is done by your child, बच्चा है जी. This is just a small example because we are all parents. Most of us are. And this is how we react. So none of us, just like Arjun, use our vivek most of the times. And this is a very scary situation. When we don't work with our vivek, we are the cause of the chaos we see in this world. We are the cause of the destruction that is happening all around us. Because although we condemn, we are not sure about our own errors. And this is something which needs to be given a deep, deep, deep thought. The battle is ongoing. The battle is going on outside, and the same battle is going on inside. Would you like to take it with it now? Yes, let's take it with it. Don't we justify everything that we do? Don't we? We'll take 2 examples here, right? And it'll be easier to understand. So far, we were analyzing everything from the outside. Kaurav the, Arjun the, right? And Arjun is saying, वो लोग गलत है, वो लोग लोभी है. And that is why they are blinded. Agreed. But he has forgotten that he is also blinded. So blind is judging the other blind. The blind is showing the direction to the blind. Where will they go? Into the ditch, isn't it? Arjun is not wrong. See, when we have greed, again, before we go delve deeper, think about it. Why do you relish, or why do you really enjoy the car that you have bought? Or the cars that stand out? Because there is this vice in you called greed. There is this vice in you which compels you to own. And hence, you can enjoy a car. Can't you? This vice makes you enjoy the car. That is a dosh. Lobh is a dosh, they say over here. Same way, why do you want to accumulate and hoard? We were talking about hoarding yesterday also, right? Why is it? Why do we want to have a wardrobe full of clothes? Many people don't even want to repeat their clothes. ऐसा होता है क्या? करना भी चाहिए क्या? But why? Because the greed in them, this wise greed, is enjoying the wardrobe. Now let's assume that there is no greed in us. Will we be tempted to have multiple cars or multiple wardrobes or hoard things? No. There is another wise that works. The wise which likes other people appreciating us, other people looking up to us. Again, what is being pampered? इसको क्या कहते हैं? Ego, अहंकार. When our ahankar gets pampered, we do things so that other people appreciate us. Had you no ahankar, and if you were not a slave of ego pampering, would you care what other people think? Or would you do what is right for you? If there was no greed, would you pamper your vice called greed by getting multiple things? Or you would just have what is needed? And that is where it starts becoming dry. If we take it further, if we take it within, this is what is happening to all of us. We have innate habits, right? For instance, the beautiful examples, two beautiful examples. First, there was a boy, a college-going child, right? Who was a staunch vegetarian. Huh? Staunch matlab staunch vegetarian. No egg, nothing. However, he had a habit of drinking liquor and smoking. And there was another friend of his who was a non-vegetarian. Yet, he would, no matter what, even if hell broke loose, he would not touch liquor or cigarettes. He said those are vices. Now, these two boys once were having a deep argument, right? They said, "Tum kitna galat kar rahe ho?" You know, this boy said, "You're drinking and smoking, you are actually injuring your health. Such bad habits should be let go." Now, the other boy would not remain quiet. He thought that he is a staunch vegetarian, hence he is very good. And drinking and smoking are not as bad as eating non-vegetarian food. So he said, "You, although you don't drink and you don't smoke, but the harm you cause to the animals around you, they are being slaughtered because of your taste buds. Your habits are worth leaving. Drinking and smoking is fir bhi okay as compared to eating non-veg." And this boy said, "Oh, come on. Drinking and smoking is destroying you bit by bit. What's the point of being a staunch vegetarian when you cannot stop drinking and eating?" Now, kaun sahi hai, kaun galat hai? For this boy, who is a non-vegetarian, yet he would never touch liquor or drink, he is right. But at the same time, the person who is a staunch vegetarian and he eats and he drinks and smokes, he is right. So what are they defending over here? They are defending their habits. Is one better than the other? No. They are both blinded. They are both conditioned. And Geeta over here is asking us to accept our conditioning. We are all an output of our conditioning. We are all an outcome of our upbringing. We are all an outcome of our situations. We are all an outcome of our conditioning, plus, of course, our samskars and vasanas. But samskars and vasanas, एक बार आप नहीं control कर सकते, ठीक है? That is a far-fetched thing. But conditioning, start with conditioning. Start with neutralizing the conditioning. How do we neutralize the conditioning? Nowadays, you know what the gurus say? When you want to decide what is right, what is wrong, kindly don't even listen to your own conscience, because we have killed it long back. For all you know, it is only our conditioned mind that is guiding us. Turn to the scriptures. Because as of now, we are all so deluded that we do not have that small conscious, right, which tells us what is right and wrong. It has been long killed by all of us. Bacha hi nahi hai kuch. It is only our conditioned mind, and we have become slaves of our habits. And that is what these two boys are doing. They are just reasoning not according to the truth, but according to their habits. We, therefore, are reasoning according to our habits and not according to the truth. And none of us has a right to judge anybody. कौन सही है कौन गलत है भाई रहने दो, खुद को तो सुधार लो पहले. एंड गीता बोल रही है कि ये मान रहे हो या नहीं मान रहे हो आप. See, unless and until you accept, what is the point of going to chapter 2? Krishna is still not talking. Why is he not talking? Because we are not in the state of accepting कि भाई गलती हो रही है, अब इसको सुधारें कैसे. We are in a very vicious cycle of justifying our habits, and how do we correct it? How do we get out of this vicious cycle? First, to get out of that vicious cycle, we have to accept that we are in the vicious cycle. We are in delusion. We are blinded. Our vivek has been destroyed. Our conscience has been killed. Until that happens, no amount of gyan, no amount of knowledge, no amount of Geeta chanting will go into your mind. Till we feel कि हम सही हैं. होता है ना, there's a beautiful saying, वैसे हम चौड़े रास्ता सकड़ा, कि it is not our fault. It is a fault of the road. It is not our fault, it is his fault. This finger pointing has to stop. Turn all your attention inwards. Analyze the self. Arjun's Vishad is this only. He is able to see other people's flaw, but his biggest weakness, that is attachment, moha, delusion, has actually blinded his thinking. He is condemning their habits, their vices, forgot his own vice. We have to wake up to this. Attachment is also a big vice. Delusion, moha, big vice. And we all are afflicted with it. And unfortunately, attachment is not considered bad in our world. A mother who's attached to the child is considered an ultimate mother. Nahi hota. You can love your child, yet be attached to God and detached from the child. And I think you'll do more good to the child if you're not attached, because you, with your vivek, are going to make a human out of that boy or a girl. Otherwise, we'll make monsters, and we can see lots of them roaming around. Why? Bachcha hai ji, jaane do. By giving these mother and children examples, because again, we can relate to it directly. These are our day-to-day affairs. So these two boys, who was right, who was wrong? They were both slaves to their habits, and they were justifying their habits. And we do not want to leave our habits. Why? Because we are afraid of the vacuum these habits will create. At a point, Arjun reached to a phase where he realized that my bad habits have to be slaughtered. My extra sensual desires, my greed, my sense of enjoyment for every worldly thing has to be eliminated. But at the same time, what arose in him was, my God, vacuum ho jayega. It'll become so boring. If I become a vairagi, where I have no interest for anything in this world, where my interest for clothes, my interest for people, talking, dancing, my interest for whatever habits I have right now is gone, what will I do? There will be a sheer vacuum. Life is going to become meaningless. We feel, right? If I'm not attached to my children anymore, my life will become meaningless. If I'm not attached to the things I like the most, I love music, I'm passionate about music. If my attachment towards music goes away, my life is going to become meaningless. That is what Arjun is saying. If my attachment and my passion for running, it is my everything for me, that sport, goes away, my life is going to become meaningless. If I'm a workaholic, if my attachment towards my work goes away, I'm going to become so bored. My life is going to become meaningless. How will I work? How will I sing? How will I run? How will I take care of my children if those emotions are not there anymore? Huh? If greed is not there, how will I save? I'll give away everything. That's dangerous. And that is what Arjun is telling. Listen, Krishna, although we know that these senses are causing a lot of agony. How do the senses cause agony? First, because you want, you work hard. You sacrifice all your life for what? कि मेरे पास में ये होना चाहिए. You slog it out. That is what we do, right? And then we buy a house. And we buy a house with our loan. And then we slog our entire life time to pay that loan. Right? And then we don't have time to even relish that. And by chance, we are able to enjoy that house for a while, and there is a certain amount of crisis, and that house is taken away from us. Again, there is agony. So, with a lot of trouble, we attend to all our vices, be it greed, be it anger, be it everything, we attend to it, right? Why? Everything springs out of greed. मुझे ये चाहिए, मेरे को ये करना है, मेरे बच्चों के पास में ये होना चाहिए. I have suffered a lot, my children should not suffer anymore. And for that, you go through a lot of trouble. For what? Had these vices not been there, if you would have been a content individual, neither would these vices have given you any joy, nor when these things, the material things, if they would have been taken away from you, there won't be any agony. Samta aa jati hai. There would be a equipoised person standing. So the things won't be using you, you would use the things. If they are there, you would be happy. If they are not there, you would be happy. Full stop. However, we are very agonized if we don't have something. When we get it, we are momentarily happy. And by chance, if that thing goes away, we are distorted again. Our children, when they are born, we are happy, right? Then we get agonized if our children don't go according to our will. And then we are totally beaten and broken when our children go away. What is speaking? Attachment. One of the vices. Well, same thing, and you can say in the similar way, sit down with a pen and paper and start analyzing the things in your life. And why a particular reaction to a particular thing. And identify what it is. It is an outcome of your habit, it is an outcome of your vice, it is an outcome of your conditioning, or it is an outcome of your upbringing, or it is an outcome of your situation. A person who might be deprived initially would crave for more and more because of the fear and insecurity of being deprived again. And this self-analysis, nobody can do for you. हमें ही करना पड़ेगा ना. Nobody knows us the way we know ourselves. So Arjun over here is defending. See, I don't want to destroy my vices. I am what I am because of them. So now he is going a step further, saying, see, if I destroy my vice, everything related to the vice gets over, right? If I destroy greed, my love for my clothes, my love for my house, my love for my car, my love for my wealth goes. मेरी पूरी clan साफ हो जाती है. Right? It is a clan of greed, right? All the things that we possess are not a clan of need. They are a clan of greed. Most of them. It gets destroyed. Then neeras ho jayega ras. It will be like, life will become meaningless. Neeras is a beautiful word. So, he said, can we not do one thing? Krishna, he's talking to himself. Krishna, listen, let's have both operating simultaneously. Both operating simultaneously. And this is something which I have heard from many people, and they keep telling, have a balanced life. Balanced hona chahiye, hai na? Balanced life. Don't get too carried away by this, don't get too carried away by that. Have a balanced life. What is a balanced life? If anybody was to ask you, भाई balanced life का मतलब क्या है? आपको भी पता है क्या balanced life का मतलब क्या होता है? See, there should be a balance. Most people tell me there should be a balance. We are grihastis. I don't know why we demean grihastis so much, unfortunately. We are grihastis. We have responsibilities. We should be balanced in our approach. What are they saying? We have to have certain amount of vices in us. काम क्रोध मोह लोभ अहंकार मद मत्सर्य को भी रहने दो, एंड साथ में वो थोड़ा बहुत पूजा पाठ भी चलने दो, राइट? सो हैव अ बैलेंस. Let nurture all your vices, and then at the same time nurture the spirituality also. ऐसा हो सकता है क्या? Just imagine putting your feet in two boats, one foot here, one foot there, and sailing through the ocean. Is it possible? It won't possible. You will drown. ना इधर के रहोगे ना उधर के रहोगे. Neither you will be able to enjoy your vices, nor will you be able to enjoy spirituality and God realization. कुछ भी नहीं होगा. So Arjun is saying, let's nurture both. He is very adamant. He says, please, I love these habits. Without these habits, everything is going to be lost. That is wrong thinking. Ye Geeta mein, they will explain it to us later. Don't be so fearful. If all these greed, ego, attachments go away, life will not become meaningless. When attachment goes away, love will come. And love is far more superior than attachment. When ego goes away, that divine self is going to reveal. And that divine self is far more superior than your little ego I. When greed goes away, your hands will start giving. And the feeling of giving is far more powerful and beautiful than a feeling of taking. Substitution hoga. But you have to wait. You cannot have both. As we say, have a spiritual base. Sanatan Dharma is a way of life. There is not one Sanatan Dharma and one my life. Nahi. Adapt to the spiritual life and build your material world on it. एक strong spiritual Sanatan Dharma का base बना लीजिए. A beautiful, beautiful, strong foundation. And then start building your material world around it. Nobody is asking you to give up your family. Nobody is asking you to give up all your possessions. Nobody is asking you to give up anything and run away to the jungle. बस ये मन की मति से चलना बंद कर दीजिए. मन के मते ना चालिए, मन के मते अनेक. Give up this and let Vivek shine. Let discrimination shine. Arjun is resisting it. He says, let both these be there, operating simultaneously, my vices also and my virtues also. Kya problem hai? They belong to the same family, right? They are the outcome of the same mind, isn't it? All thoughts are the outcome of the same mind, so they belong to the same family. How can we destroy anything in our own family? The vices also come from my mind, the virtues also come from my mind, the good thoughts, so-called good thoughts come from my mind, the so-called bad thoughts come from my mind. They are a family and they need to operate together. So first he is defending his habits. Second, he is defending his clan. Third, he is defending that only one has to exist. Both can exist in harmony, he is saying. And this is for us to decide. Can vices and virtues exist in harmony? For instance, you are a diabetic. Ek taraf se to you are eating all the sweets. And at the other end, after you finish eating the sweets, you take insulin. Kitne din tak chalega? Is it right? Being a highly diabetic person, you gulp down all the sweets in the world, all the food that is supposed to be not eaten. You don't do your exercises and workouts and walking. And after that, whenever you need, you take shots and shots and shots of insulin. Isn't it going to weaken your system? Think about it. Think about it. It will weaken your system. It will weaken your existence. It will weaken you. And then he goes on a little further and he says, "Ki let both exist simultaneously." It's very, very, very dangerous. Let both exist simultaneously. So we understood from the outer perspective, he is judging. What is it? Again, tasma naraha vayam hantum dhartarashran swabandhavam. Right? Ki swabandhav hai. These are my relatives. Swajanam hi katham hatva sukhinah astyam madhavam. When we kill our swajan, what is the benefit that we'll get? Even if they are criminals, rowdy people, no benefit will be derived by killing our own clan. For that, we took the example of a criminal brother who could be detrimental for the society. What action would you take? And then he said, Yadhya petena pashyanti lobho pahata chetasaha kulakshaye kritam dosham mitradrohe chapatakam. Again he's saying, even though because of their lobe, their wisdom is covered, their vivek is covered, they are not able to see the destruction of the clan and the mitradro, the friendship, the betrayal of friendship that they are doing. But in the next verse he says, Katham na kiyam asmabhihi papadasma navartitum kula kshaya kritam dosham prapashyad bhir janardana. पर हमें तो दिख रहा है, right? We are not blinded. We have full vivek. We will not do such a thing. We should not allow ourselves to be carried away, because we are not at all blind. We can see the disaster which they cannot see. And this is the biggest mistake we all make. We consider ourselves as full of virtues. We consider our habits as good. We consider our vision as complete and not clouded. We consider ourselves as the epitome of virtues. And that is why Kabir said, बुरा देखन मैं गया, बुरा ना दिखया कोई, जब मन झांका आपना, मुझसे बुरा ना कोई. Till you are looking outwards, you would not be able to see your own vices. But when you look inwards also, the dilemma of eliminating your vices and nurturing your virtues is going to take over. Why? Because of our conditioning. And to break this conditioning is the most Herculean task. पर करना तो पड़ेगा ना. And for that, what do we need? Acceptance. Acceptance. Acceptance of who we are. Acceptance of ourselves. Acceptance of our vices. Acceptance of our virtues. Acceptance of our weaknesses and strengths. खुद को जानिए तो सही, बहुत जरूरी है. जय श्री कृष्ण, जय श्री राम, जय हनुमान. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. वासुदेवाय वासुदेवाय. राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की. राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की. राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की. बोलो बजरंग बली की जय. जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण.